can do it!
I'm gonna be the Wizard King. I'll prove it. I'll show them all.
Is my grimoire running late or something?
Students of the arcane, seekers of truth, and loyal defenders of the Clover Kingdom. So you have returned, have you? You arrived at the edge of another great journey, but before, be still. Leave a like and subscribe for more stories. The pages have no wait in vain. There is much to recall, and what comes next will not be the kind to be unprepared. I am Kalzar'story, chief historian of the Royal Grand Archives of the Clover Kingdom. For over 19 years, I have studied the ties of magic, the rise of thrones, and the curses that sleep beneath our story. But nothing has shattered the realm as profoundly as this story. You see, this is not merely a tale of magic. It is not about numbers of bloodlines. This is the saga of two orphans raised in dirt, dreaming of crowns. One graced by the wind, the other damned by silence. It is the fire of rebellion wrapped in the cloth of fate. It is Black Clover. Prepare yourself, the grimoires turns again. In the quiet and forgotten fringes of the Clover Kingdom lies the humble village of Aja, a place barely lived by mana, untouched by the grandeur, and remembered by none. It is here that fate deposited the two infants at the doorstep of a simple church. No lineage, no noble crest, no clue to the origins. One born with nothing, not a shred of mana, not even a glimmer, and the other a prodigy, kissed by the winds themselves. Calm and stoic even as a child, was born with a prodigious talent for wind magic. His control, elegance, and natural affinity for mana earned him the awe of the village. Asta, by contrast, was brash, impulsive, and impossibly, entirely devoid of mana, not low-born, not weak, but empty, a rarity even among the rare. Yet it was Asta who shouted into heavens a vow so absolutely could only belong to him. I will become the Wizard King. Mocked, dismissed, ignored, but never silenced. The bond between the two boys grew into rivalry, and that rivalry would become the axis upon which destiny was to predetermine a failure. But the boy's spirit was kind of unnatural, obsessive, violent in its determination. He trained his body to absurdity, screamed promises into the stars, and declared himself would become the Wizard King. A childish dream, perhaps, but as history shows us, dreams have sharp teeth. At 15, all children receive their grimoires, magical books that amplify their innate power. When the day came to receive the grimoire, Yuno received the blessed and legendary followed by the legendary first Wizard King, and Asta received nothing. Left out of the tower, mocked as worthless, until a threat arose, and from the abyss it answered. Yuno was threatened that a tomb fell from the shadows, a dusty, tattered tomb descended in a vortex of shadow, its emblem a 5-leaf clover.
The leaves of a clover are said to each contain one
grimoire, black as sin, older than time. It contained the essence of anti-magic, a force that nullifies spells, defies structure, and rejects the very order of mana. A magic-less boy had entered the ultimate defiance. Infested with power that defies magic itself, anti-magic, a cursed artifact, once held by a certain mage consumed by hatred. Asta's power was anti-magic, the ability to nullify spells, unheard of, unnatural, dangerous. Soon after, they entered the Magic Night entrance even. Yuno triumphed and was welcomed into the Golden Dawn. Asta, armed with nothing but muscle, willpower, and massive demon slayer's world, stunned all by holding his ground against powerful mages. He was claimed, embraced by the most laughed squad, the Black Bulls, the most ridiculous Magic Knight squad in the Clover Kingdom. Its members, misfits, criminals, and outcasts. The Black Bulls are names spoken with either contempt or confusion. They were not noble, they were not stable, they were not orderly. They were family. Led by mysterious and volatile Captain Yami Sukeiro, a foreman who wielded dark magic, the Bulls were infamous for property damage, insubordination, and general madness. But within the chaos resides some of the most unique and dangerous talents in the kingdom. Noé Silva, a royal born into shame, unable to control her immense water magic, born by a noble name that judged her. Her journey with the Bulls would shape her into a warrior who could stand beside kings. Lac Voltia, the smiling storm of lightning, addicted to fighting and challenge, whose eyes gleam only during battle. Magna Swing, a delinquent fire magic from the lower realms, whose grit and pride made him a protected older brother figure. Vanessa Enoteka, the sultry witch whose rose trees hide the secret of fate itself. Gordon Agrippa, the soft-spoken alchemist of poisons. Grey, the shy transformation magic whose true self remained born beneath illusion. Funeral Rollcave, the spiritual magic and noble playboy with a coward heart and a brother-shaped shadow looming over him. Under Yami exposed leadership with only one commandment: surpass your limits, right here, right now. And with after madness as well, the Black Bulls went from embarrassment to become a legend. A joint mission was issued to both the Black Bulls and the Golden Dawn. Explore a newly surfaced dungeon as recovered diamond border. Within it, ancient traps, forgotten relics, and a deeper conspiracy. Juno, alongside Klaus and Mimosa, discovered the hidden chambers and awakened Sylph, the legendary spirit of wind, a celestial being who chose Juno as her host. Asta, meanwhile, confronted Mars, a magical enchanted weapon of the Diamond Kingdom, a boy twisted by experiments who could regenerate wounds and wield both crystal and flame. During this battle, Asta pulled forth a new sword from his grimoire, the Demon Dweller, capable of absorbing magic. Together, Asta and Juno defeated Mars. But the encounter revealed that the Diamond Kingdom had long abandoned humanity in favor of magic and augmentation. Mars himself was a survivor of brutal experimentation. This was no ordinary dungeon, it was the start of a new war. But peace, as it always does, broke like glass. While celebrating, the Eye of the Midnight Sun launches a brutal assault on the capital, causing mass destruction, led by Rada's spirit. During the attack, Fuego Leon Vermilion, noble captain of the Crimson Lion Kings, was gravely wounded and left comatose. His magic stone was stolen. The people were terrified. The kingdom rattled. The magic emperor Julius Novachrono begins to suspect something greater beneath these attacks. Later, the Black Bulls are sent to Neron village, where they encounter the leader of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, Licht, a mage with a full relief grimoire like Juno, where Asta was saved by Yami, and the appearance of the three strongest members of the organization, the Third Eye, Raya the Trickery, Veto the Despair, and Fana the Hatred. The Wizard Kings send the Black Bulls to retrieve a magic stone hidden in a submerged temple. Initially greeted with games and laughter, the mission quickly turned when a member of the Eye, Veto the Despair, appeared. Veto was a monster, wielding beast magic and cursed power. He broke bones, spirits, and every life. His ideology, despair is the truth, and humans are weak. No else unlocks her true power, casting Sea Dragon Roar for the first time. Asta and the squad, Firal and Vanessa, combined Air Force and Veto falls. But at last, with an ancient magic, he released his mana and tried to destroy the temple, claiming their plan is far from over. When Asta, Noel, Finn and Vanessa are ready to take Veto on again, Yami suddenly appears. Yami turns to Veto and says that he will finish Veto off. Yami releases mana and thinks about how he was only able to surpass his limits because of them. Yami then comments about the spells and that he still has room to grow. Veto yells, "Despair!" But Yami tells him to shut up and points out that the spell is able to cut through 7 dimensions. Yami then turns from Veto and his mana and thanks Veto for taking good care of his men. Asta's arms, broken by Veto assault, would not heal. Every healer failed, every spell rejected. His boy, touched by forbidden magic, resisted restoration. Their final hope lay in danger, the Witch's Forest, a forbidden land ruled by the terrifying Witch Queen, a being as powerful as she was manipulative. There, the truth of Vanessa and Noteka's past comes to light, a prisoner of fate, stolen from her coven. She was a tool to the Queen, molded to perfection, one day to return. The Queen healed Asta arms used blood magic, revealing her intent to slay him and use anti-magic to wipe out her enemies. But fate, as ever, had another plans. The forest was invaded, the kingdom of Diamond, led by Ladros and Mars, attacked from one side, the Eye of the Minad descended from the other with Fana, the Hatred. Amid the carnage, Asta lost control. His demon form began to emerge, but he reclaimed himself from sheer will. In this chaos, Vanessa awakened the red thread of fate, altering destiny itself and freeing them from the Queen's grasp. The Witch Queen shocked released them, not out of giddiness but calculation. She had seen the flow of fate, and she had seen Asta's future. With multiple stones in enemy hands and war looming, the kingdom formed a plan, assembled an elite unit, the Royal Knights, to strike directly at the eye of the Midnight Sun's Earth. A massive combat tournament was announced. Teams of 3, no rank restriction, every squad could participate. This wasn't just a test of strength, it was a measure of synergy, creativity and resolve. Among the many faces, one stood apart, Zora Ideale, a masked rogue who mocked nobility and exposed their hypocrisy. Zora, a commoner, entered the tournament under false pretenses and dismantled enemy formation using trap magic, an uncommon art requiring precise preparation and ruthless cunning. His reason? His father, Zora Ideale, was the first commoner to become a magic knight and was killed by his noble comrades in ambush. Zora's revenge was not rage, it was retribution cloaked in mockery. Elsewhere, tension exploded. Asta and Mimosa were teamed with Zora. Despite friction, they emerged victorious through grit and strategy. Firal faced his younger brother, Langris vowed, a prodigy in spatial magic, but Langris, incredibly unstable, nearly killed his brother. The Black Bulls protected him, but he was already critically wounded. They sought to stop the match, but he revealed something chilling. Langris may already be possessed. The strongest contender advanced, with the victory of Juno and Noel team, and the Royal Knights were born. Among them, Asta, Zora and Noel, Luck, Juno, and the first beast, Mary Leona. Mary Leona Vermilion, sister to Fogoleon, emerged as the unit's commander. Her fair magic was immense, her will unbreakable. A noble who earned respect not through name, but through power. The Royal Knight struck. Their target, a fortress above the clouds, the stronghold of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. Inside, the truth unrevealed. Juno, now promoted within the Golden Dawn, sensed a strange connection. He was drawn deeper, facing a mysterious figure, one who called himself Licht. But Licht was not with him. The true Licht, leader of the ancient elves, remained sealed. The enemy's goals became clear: collect the magic stone, activated the reincarnation spell and bring back the souls of the fallen elves, using human bodies as vessels. In the heat of battle, the final stone was placed, the spell activated, and across the kingdom, magic knives began to change. Eyes glowed, glyphs appeared, voices changed. The elves, filled with rage, grief, and betrayal, were reborn. The Clover Kingdom didn't just face war, it faced a resurrection. The spell was complete. The ancient souls of the elves, betrayed and slaughtered centuries ago, were pulled back into the world, forced into the bodies of present-day magic knights. From common soldiers to captains, the invasion was total. Memories flooded in, hatred reawakened. Petri, long disguised as a lich, revealed himself as the leader of this resurrection. He had lived for years hiding behind the image of the ancient elven leader, while secretly sharing a body with William Vengeance, captain of the Golden Dawn. Their fusion was complex, a single body, two souls. William, loyal to the kingdom, Patri, loyal to his fallen race. Fueled by vengeance for the massacre of his people, Patri declared a war on humanity. His hatred now burned brighter than ever. Asta, Noel, and the Black Bulls raced to contend the disaster. Juno, momentarily possessed, resisted for willpower and connection to self. He regained control, proof that not all else will surrender. Meanwhile, a force of unmatched fury tore from enemy ranks. Mary Leona Vermilion, the flame lioness herself. With unmatched fire magic and terrifying presence, she single-handedly dueled multiple elves foes in the eye of the middle and the sun stronghold. Her strength was primal, her dominance unquestioned. Julius Novacrono, the Wizard King, stood alone to defend the capital from Praetor's assault. A man who controlled time itself, Julius foresaw the attack and sacrificed himself to save the people, preserving countless lives. His death sent a shiver across the realm. The Black Bulls, unpossessed thanks to their chaotic mana signatures, moved as an independent force. They recovered their teammates, fought rogue elves, and infiltrated the floating dungeon where Patri prepared his final ritual. But deep within the fortress, a dark force stirred. The elves were not the true enemy, they were puppets. A devil, the war magic demon Zagrad, had orchestrated the original betrayal. He manipulated both humans and elves for centuries, sowing despair for his eventual birth into the physical world. In the final battle, a united front from Asta, Juno, Licht, Yami, Secret, and Anti-Maiden and Evan, the elves joined forces. But they were not alone. From Deep of Time, Lumiere, Silver, Million Clover, the first Wizard King returned, awakened by Segre, and with him the real Licht, leader of the ancient elves, stood at his side. Human and elf, the two who once fought to unite these races, now joined the new generation to fight the very evil that destroyed them. As anti-magic to throw Zagrad's spells, Licht bathed pierced his flesh. Juno wind carved space itself. The Miel and the Amish took in tandem, and the finished final blow was unity. The devil was slain, and the elven souls, the vengeance fulfilled. Choose space, ascending into the next world. But Julius was gone. Or was he? A mysterious boy bearing Julius' mana signature, but not only a fraction of his power, appeared soon after. The Wizard King had not died, but reverted to his younger self by using every drop of time he had saved. The kingdom rejoiced, but suspicion spread, and in the shadows nobility blamed Asta and the devil in his grimoire for everything. The Black Bulls were no longer heroes. They were accused of abhorring forbidden power. To protect a comrade and their name, they set out east. Beyond the border to the east lay the Earth Kingdom, a nation steeped in natural mana, where magic uses spirit-based stage ranking instead of noble hierarchy. Led by the kind yet vocal Princess Chica and the guardian spirit Undine, the Her Kingdom governed for harmony with nature, but they faced catastrophe approaching. The threat was the Spade Kingdom, a frozen empire ruled by tyrants who consorted with devils, and so the Black Bulls traveled to Earth not only to train, but to clear their names. Asta, branded by the clover nobility as dangerous, offered himself up for examination. Olopechica, seeing his anti-magic as a key to fighting the devils, welcomed him. She formed an alliance, a pact between Clover and the Earth Kingdom. Asta, Noel, Finral, Mimosa, Luck, and Horus began training under the guidance of the Earth's best mages to master mana, to refine their combat stages, and to unlock their dominant potential. Noel's power grew, her Valkyrie armor evolved, her magic sharpened. Luck honed his speed and awarenesses, Asta pushed himself through an anti-magic more precisely. Meanwhile, the shadow of war had already crept in. When Kalzar'story, one of the Dark Triad, invaded the Earth Kingdom with terrifying blood magic and the power of the devil Mengicula. She fought for Noel and Olopechica directly, and left a deadly curse festering in the princess. At the same time, Zenon Zagradis led an attack on the Golden Dawn. The squad decimated, members slain. The headquarters reduced to ruin, and William's vengeance was taken. Yuna, returning too late, stood amidst the bodies of incomers. His grief was sharp, his resolve sharper. But still, he was totally defeated by Zenon Zagradis. Elsewhere, Dante Zagradis, wielding the powerful Lucifero, one of the three supreme demons of the Hell, and gravity magic, assaulted the Black Bull's hideout. Yami Sukeiro faced him head-on, fighting a devil-possessed warrior with raw instinct and unmatched dark magic. But even so, Dante overheld him. Then Yami asked help from Asta, and the two defeated Dante. But in the end, Yami was taken Zenon. Yami and William sacrifices. The tree of Kifilov will be built from them. The gates to the underworld will open, and the final war was coming. With the fall of the Golden Dawn, the capture of Yami Sukeiro, and the looming tree of Kifilov, a new figure emerged from the darknesses. Natch Faust, the mysterious vice captain of the Black Bulls, a man long absent from the public eye. Natch has spent years infiltrating the Spade Kingdom, hiding in the shadow and secrecies, a user of shadow magic. He is unlike any mage the Clover Kingdom has ever known, and unlike most, he bears no kindness in his voice. He brings the grim news and the spirit plan. The tree of Kifilot will open and the gates to the upper world. The first devils to emerge will devastate the land, but what lies beyond them is apocalyptic. To stop this, a preemptive strike must be made on the Spade Kingdom, but first, Asta must master the very devil within him. In a forbidden ceremony known as the Devil Binding Ritual, Asta confronts the source of his power, the devil within him, named Liebe. Not with hatred, not to dominate, but to understand. Liebe, a demon without magic born into a world that cast him out, he was taken in by Lilithita, a woman who could not touch anyone else because of her magic, and who gave her life to protect him from Lucifero. Her death forged Liebe hatred, and now he is to face with Asta, her son. The battle is fierce, but Asta does not aim to enslave. He offers a contract as equals. He is no longer just a swordman. He is a warrior who defies even the laws of devils. The final campaign begins. All forces gather. The captains, the resistance from Spade, the spirit guardian of Earth, and now the unified Black Bulls. Having learned he is the lost prince of the Spirit Kingdom royal line, burns with purpose. Noel, after losing Lole Pechika to Veronica curse, pushes herself beyond her limits. Charlotte, tormented by guilt and buried feelings for Yami, takes command of her squad with his new strength. Marie-Leona, Ava the Lionesses, is alone towards the dark diaspors, and Asta finally learned the power of Devil Union where he will save his captain. The mission: infiltrate the Spade Kingdom stronghold, stop the Tree of Kifil's ritual, and rescue Yami and William before the gates open fully. But the fierce roots of the tree have already touched the vein between the worlds, and what lies beyond is the realm of pure, unrelating darknesses. And now we await the next verse. The Grimoire turns, the devil rise, the Wizard King watches it. Prepare yourself, for the greatest magic is still unwritten.